but I tell you what, that is a brilliant safety shot from O'Sullivan. Didn't really need to take that risk. Who's going to really step up in this frame and find that extra? I tell you what, they're both more than capable of it. Selby will just sit back and wait for something to come his way. Is O'Sullivan going to present him with something? Good shot. I wouldn't rule out some tip-tapping around here. The potential for a re-rack, I guess. Although Ronnie seems determined to play quite big shots all the time. Playing away from these reds is not necessarily a big shot, I grant you. I think he'll play the adventurous shots, and for the moment Selby's likely to just hang on and see what comes his way. Selby's clever enough to know that there's always something that could be around the corner here by way of a chance. Playing Ronnie. He's just happy to sit in and wait, and that's fair enough, I think. It's been a great match. I think O'Sullivan was in front. He could have been 6-2 up the second session. Well, he was outplayed really. This morning he felt that Selby was the better player, but Ronnie scrambled out of that. Now it's the other way round. Who's scrambling around now? It's more Selby than O'Sullivan.
Selby was so close to delivering the fatal blow earlier today. 13-9 up, he had chances in the last two of the session. Had he won either of those frames, you wonder whether O'Sullivan could have fought back. But crucially, he did manage to scramble them. Started in brilliant fashion this evening. And since then, we've seen pretty much every aspect of this guy's most complex of characters on show.
That's an interesting shot. That's more like the man he's playing to counteract that situation by just dropping into the bunch. Again, we're seeing a different sort of a frame now, as is always the case. They all start the same, but when you get the decider, often goes tight, edgy, nervy. Whose nerve will hold out the best.
Big moment this. O'Sullivan's been very good from long range tonight. And he is again. That was a straight die. So first blood O'Sullivan in the decider. Didn't want the cannon on the red.
8.
But he's got it. Goodness me, that was edge of the seat stuff too, as a lot of O'Sullivan snooker has been tonight. Wowee.
Wow, what a shot that was. Goodness me. Goodness me. Like you, I wasn't sure the red was in. I think that was only the speed he hit it at. I'm not sure how this dropped, but it did, and the black was sensational.
17.
Well, it's in O'Sullivan's hands now. A series of superb shots. The red spread everywhere. This would be one of the more remarkable victories of an already extraordinary career if he were to pull this off from where he was just half an hour or so ago.
24.
He's a bit in between here, you know. It's, could have finished on the red a little better. He's on this one. He's got to go down the table, obviously. But I don't think he particularly likes it. The red to the middle is no fun either. It's not his sort of a shot, really, to drop it in. I thought perhaps he could have been a little better on the red than this. Played it well. Played it very well.
25.
A penny for that man's thoughts. Incredibly, the semi-final is now out of his hands. Yet for most of the day it's felt as though Selby was just one blow away from finishing O'Sullivan off.
Has he played that right? It's me, is he on this red?
28.
Wow. That might not be a very good shot at all that he's played there. I don't think he's on this without playing it with a bit of swerve. Well, he's looking at it. Well, he had to play it with a trace of left-hand side.
29.
A lot of points without reply, and a very, very long time since Selby potted the ball.
Believe it or not, there's still a lot of pressure out there. There is a world final at stake after all. You wouldn't have thought so with the way O'Sullivan has approached things this evening at times. But in the last 3 frames, he has been
33.
simply sublime.
$40. 41. $48.
Selby must feel a bit punch drunk sitting in that chair. 2 up with 3 to play. O'Sullivan playing, let's say, an eyebrow-raising shot on the final pink.
Well, that's history now, isn't it? This is incredible what he's doing here. It's absolutely incredible how he's turned it around from that one shot to this, where he's on the brink. this to me is just something else.
57.
I mean, I've always thought he was the best player to pick up a cue, occasionally infuriating. Selby is the consummate professional who's waited and waited. There were signs in that frame that Ronnie threw away that Selby had anxiety about just the shots he played, but Ronnie has since then has completely blitzed him. I mean, completely so. But he's not over the line yet now. Has he finished on a red here?
64.
Know what's on? And if there's one onto pocket, all of a sudden Ronnie now is an eye on the scoreboard. Red colour's all he needs. Wow. Wow.
Is there to be one final extraordinary twist in this truly remarkable tussle? Mark Selby gets his chance to counter.
Well, it was a difficult shot. It's always hard to think that you win a match frame in one visit.
Enormous pressure on Selby now. That was a good pot because he's so cold. He's barely left his chair since he led 16-14. Couple of awkward reds.
No. $16.
O'Sullivan was 2 balls away, that red and a colour.
$17.
Well, it looks to me like he's going to pop this pink and try and play on the red to move the other red, and all of a sudden it opens everything up. Beyond that, potted it into the thin side of the pocket, which means he's a bit further away from this red. I think this next shot is the big one.
23.
Doesn't win in the match, but he could lose him it if it doesn't go in. Well, again, it's a bit of a
24.
struggle, and now if he plays this pink 100%, then it's really, it's match over if this doesn't go in, and he knows it.
Vicky, his wife, living every moment, suffering in silence up there on the balcony. What an extraordinary day of snooker scene.
Well, that was very, very cool under pressure. He knew that he could overrun that and finish behind the blue. Well, the pressure is just too much for everybody, isn't it? Certainly is for me sitting here.
O'Sullivan looked as though he was going to complete the most incredible comeback. And now he's got to sit and sweat and hope that something goes wrong for Selby. One more potentially tricky red to negotiate.
Well, just having a look at the scores, I don't see that coming into the equation. 34 points, unless you took 2 yellows, then there's no problem with what you take. He's going to need a lot, whatever he takes. That can't change. So once he's worked that out, a bit of clarity of thought, how's he going to get on this red, and then, well, I mean, can't fault anything that O'Sullivan has done in this frame. He just made a terrific break and just couldn't quite get over the line. And on Selby since then has been particularly cool. This is going to be monumental stuff if he wins it. Well, that's not great, unless he plays the blue. Goodness, to stun the blue in would be a shot to get in behind it. Will he have a look at it even? That's guaranteed behind the red if he plays it, but wants to play the green, and of course he's just got to make sure he doesn't land up next to the red or something. Extension on his cue here. Well, that's end of break, surely. That means that O'Sullivan will get another shot in the frame, that's for sure. He didn't quite have it in him to play the blue, and I'm not surprised. It was a monster of a shot. It really was, to even think about. I think he'd have played it.
O'Sullivan, of course, would only need the red.
Mark Selby 34.
That's a very good defensive shot there. He's played it well. And, O'Sullivan surely is just, all he can do here is drop up to this. It's the only way he can play it.
How he would love a bit of insurance with one of those colours on a cushion. But there's nothing to save him. Well played.
Yeah, because it could have been one of those annoying situations where you miss it 2 or 3 times and the points come closer. This is what a day we've had. I mean, it's hard to imagine a more dramatic day I've ever known in snooker than this. I've seen a bit of snooker over the years, probably too much. It's like the 85 final, but in back-to-back matches, isn't it? Well, it's a good kiss, but it's not a kiss that's snookered Mark Selby.
He's done it again. He's only gone and done it again. But this time, he's had a great result.
Well, Selby's shot was brilliant. It was a brilliant defensive shot again. Ronnie has decided to go, I don't know what, whether it's plan B or plan Z. But Mark didn't like it, but it's worked out that most of the time Mark's benefited from Ronnie doing that. I mean, the point is, there's nothing worse than just playing out of a snooker and leaving it on. So he thought he would just take a risk, and this time it's paid off. I mean, it really has this time.
He's spun the wheel so many times tonight. Most of the time he's gone for black and it's come up red. This time he's got it safe. But Selby's face was a picture. Barely perceptible shake of the head to see the red land there when it could have landed anywhere. .30 behind, remember. Hasn't got much wiggle room here. Oh, what a shot he's played there. Great shot.
Yes, I think he played a brilliant shot and he deserves it. He deserves it, I think, after everything. And it was well calculated and a measured shot. Now, Ronnie's going away here. 2 cushions. Well, that's a brilliant shot. And this time, there was a plan, and the plan was, if he missed it, he was not going to leave it on. But that was a fabulous escape this time, as an authentic shot. Didn't just go hell for leather.
Both players biting their nails, and no wonder. What a finish. All the colours out in the open. It's all about this red. Can certainly be excused some lengthy thinking time here. One false move, and his hopes of the world final will be dashed. Oh, he's caught the jaw. Goodness me.
Not an easy shot though. The jaw was always in play, I think, there with that when he had right hand side on it. Now here, I think he has to really think about hiding this cue ball. If he misses it, the ball's got to be in different halves of the table.
He only needs the red. He's got the red. What an extraordinary finale to an incredible match. And a truly groundbreaking day of snooker. In all the years and all the drama that this theatre has created, has it ever produced anything like we've seen tonight?
Well, this match, I mean, I can't believe how he's come back and won it. I mean, it's one of the great performances, a slightly eccentric performance, I must say, at times tonight, against Mark, who's done everything by the book. Occasionally there was a method in Ronnie's madness, but ultimately he's played like the genius he is for the most part, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I feel sorry for Mark Selby, but you've got to take your hat off to O'Sullivan. This has been utterly spellbinding tonight.
Yes, on occasion there was madness in the method, but there was plenty of quite incredible snooker thrown in. Ronnie O'Sullivan has come back from the brink, 16-14 down. He's won 3 on the bounce in the most sensational fashion. It's going to be Ronnie O'Sullivan against Kyron Wilson for the World Snooker title.
Well, first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you to Philip Studd for a double shift he will never forget, and for Neil Foles and Joe Johnson for doing such a fantastic job on Eurosport today, summing up exactly what those 2 semi-finals were all about. I'm not sure there's 4 frames of snooker in Ronnie O'Sullivan's career that will sum up the 360 of the man himself. We'll talk about them all in a little bit. But there is your final of the 2020 World Snooker Championship. Kyron Wilson against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Can somebody please tell me how? Jimmy White, a day that we will never forget.
No, 2 incredible semi-finals, 66 frames played today. You nominated that this morning.
Yeah, over the semis.
And this match, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Mark Selby's done nothing wrong, and I think if Mark Selby would have got on the last thread, he would have cleared up. He's back, Mark Selby, but Ronnie O'Sullivan was just absolutely phenomenal in them last 3 frames.
No player I think that's ever played the game, you included, could look so reckless and finished in 1 frame, then score 276 unanswered points against one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, it's incredible the way he gets the balls open. As soon as he's gets 2 or 3 reds and 2 colours, he's looking to open up the reds and win the game in 1 visit. That's why he's devastating. When he's on form, he's can be unplayable. Mark Selby's, you've got to feel for Mark Selby there, because he's done nothing wrong, and he's not really had a small chance to get on the last thread. But apart from that, he played really well as well, but Ronnie was just incredible.
Mark Selby didn't play a single shot where he didn't respect the game. Unplayable, Ronnie O'Sullivan for sure. Maybe a little unpalatable in frame 30. Let's start having a look at that, Jimmy. And some shots he had to play hard, others were like a knock-around pool game.
Well, yeah, this blue, you know, he's just won the last frame, and all he has to do is just snooker him, you know, just bite the bullet. You've lost position, you didn't get on a bold colour. He put a great long red to get in there. He had the momentum. That smash there, I can understand because it was really difficult to get safe, and but he's only 25 behind. This shot here, I think he's played a treble into the green pocket and put the white back down here. I'm not sure of that shot. We'll have to ask him about that one because as Folsey said in the commentary, he weren't sure about that one, nor my idea. This one, he's already missed the snooker and he's tried to have a smash up. But if you're going to have a smash up, work out the angle, make sure you hit the pink at least. You know that made him use his snooker.
But Jimmy, he's in the frame. There's 20 other shots he can play there.
There was. He should have been a bit more patient. You know, you'll have to get his thought process of that one. I'm not sure.
Jimmy, I really want to put my hand on you, but I'm not allowed 2 meters to you. But that is the first time I've ever